no basketball at all on the Miami campus.
And I would imagine that in time, they're going to have a real quality program. I think they have a good basketball team this year.
They are getting more and more good athletes, a lot of them from the upper Northeast, where Coach Foster has some background in terms of recruiting high school athletes. And I think that it'll be a short few years when you will see the basketball program maybe on a par with their football and their baseball program, and they're great in those two sports.
Absolutely. A lot of the talk down here right now about the upcoming Orange Bowl. The Hurricanes will be taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and some of the Hurricane fans down here still think they have an outside shot at a national championship. I'm not so sure about that unless the Fiesta Bowl ends in a tie, but a lot of interest already, as you might imagine, in that ball game coming up on January the 2nd. You mentioned Bill Foster. An interesting story. If you followed college basketball over the years, you're very familiar, or should be, with Bill Foster. He's in his 4th season now here at Miami, but his 23rd year overall as a college head coach. Coached at UNC Charlotte for a while as they just started the program from scratch there, and then had a very nice 9-year run at Clemson.
Well, he literally got the UNC Charlotte program off the ground. I think that's one of the reasons that Miami wanted him so badly, and certainly he did a great job at Clemson, and everybody knows how tough Clemson is and how tough that conference is, the ACC. So they have the right man. He has all the qualifications. He's a pretty popular guy down here, and he is, as I mentioned, getting some good athletes now, and they're starting to make a move.
As you look at the Shockers warm up, we talked earlier about Dwight Prelo and his game-high 18 points on Wednesday night against Washington. That, by the way, came on 8 of 9 shooting from the field, but he was just the tip of the iceberg as far as good guard play in that ball game. Paul Gafrovich in that ball game with 9 points against the Huskies after scoring a total of 9 points in the 4 previous games. And Keith Bonds, also playing with more confidence, had a career-high 8 against Washington.
Well, I think we saw Gafrovich maybe play as well as he's played on the road, and he needs to do that, certainly, and you would think that he is more confident here tonight than he might have been the other night, because he did play well. You mentioned Bonds off the bench. We know that Bonds is going to be a pretty good basketball player. We saw some signs of that the other night, and I expect that he will continue to improve. But they cannot improve in practice situations, and you cannot improve always playing at home against teams of lesser competition. You have to play good people. You have to get out of Levitt Arena, and you have to learn what it's like out there on the road. Both those young men are learning it.
All right, public address announcer Mark Icing, is standing by, and he's ready with tonight's starting lineups.
Tonight's action with a record of 6-1 versus the host University of Miami Hurricanes, coming into tonight's action with a record of 7-4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for Wichita State's Shockers. At 1 forward, a 6'6", 198-pound sophomore from Kansas City, Missouri, number 14, John Cooper. At the other forward slot, a 6'8", 217-pound senior from Macon, Georgia, number 20, Steve Grayer. At center, a 6'10", 235-pound senior from Titograd, Yugoslavia, number 45, Sasha Radunovic. At one guard slot, a 6'3", 174-pound sophomore from Nanticoke, Pennsylvania, number 15, Paul Gafrovich. And at the other guard slot, a 6'5", 172-pound senior out of Columbia, South Carolina, number 22, Dwight Prelo. The Shockers are coached by Eddie Fogler in his 3rd year at Wichita State. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the host, University of Miami Hurricanes. At one guard slot, a 6', 190-pound freshman from Bowie, Maryland, number 13, Jake Morton. At the other guard slot, a 5'11", 180-pound senior from Kennewick, Washington, number 3, Kevin Presto. At center, a 6'10", 220-pound senior from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, number 45, Mark Richardson. At one forward slot, a 6'5", 205-pound senior out of Princeton, Indiana, number 5, Joel Warren. And to the other forward slot, a 6'6", 195-pound senior out of Brooklyn, New York, number 32, Eric Brown.
All right, Mark Icey, thank you very much. We might mention that the score in tonight's third-place game, consolation ball game, Pennsylvania over Washington in a thriller, 70-69. So the Quakers are able to salvage something as you look at the matchups in tonight's ball game, and whoever draws Eric Brown will have his hands full.
Well, Steve Greer, Corey, if you look at that, it looks like Greer may start on him, but I have some doubts about whether that will be the case. I really do not think it'll be long before Dwayne Prelo's off the bench, as you mentioned earlier, guarding Brown. But whoever's guarding him has their hands full and will need help from his teammates.
You may, in fact, see John Cooper on him to start the ball game, but we're just about set to go. Miami 7-4. They've won 3 in a row. The Shockers 6-1. Lenny Wirtz has the ball in the air, and the Shockers have the first possession of the ball game as Paul Gafrovich will bring it across.
Brown controlled that tip, but he tipped it right to Gafrovich.
And the first whistle of the ball game was down low, away from the ball.
An obvious indication of a championship basketball game. We're going to see a foul called early. The officials are going to establish their presence, make sure everybody knows that they're in charge.
First foul on Paul Gafrovich as he was trying to get through the traffic down low. Shockers come out man-to-man, and it is Steve Greer on Eric Brown, and Steve is really trying to get around in front of him and deny the pass. Look at Greer working on the defensive end. There we have a foul.
That's against Brown, I believe. That's against Eric Brown.
Some early retaliation to the defensive pressure that Greer was applying.
And that's really good. Greer did an excellent job of trying to stay in front of Brown, and Brown pushed. You'd like to see him get another foul early in this basketball game, I'll tell you that.
So that becomes an early key, that matchup of Greer and Brown. Now the Shockers with the basketball. Still scoreless. We're playing the opening minute here in West Palm. White Prelo, ball swatted away by Jake Morton. And now the Hurricanes will bring it the other way. Joel Warren back to him, and back to Kevin Presto. A three-pointer from nearly the NBA line. No good up the back of the arm.
He's a good shooter. Presto is outside. They'll have to get to him.
Sasha, good fake to blow right around Richardson, then a dish to Dwight Prelo, who missed the layup. They battle for it, and Richardson has it.
Both teams a little tight, Mark. I really think we see that right now. Neither team is very relaxed.
Warren dumps it inside to Brown, who drop-stepped on Greer. Missed the shot. That time, though, drew the foul.
That's excellent help side defense by John Cooper that time. He moved over quickly on the lob pass to Eric Brown, got in behind him. You see it right here. Here's Warren with a lob pass over the top to Eric Brown. There's John Cooper, 14, moves over in good position. Well, I'm not sure about the foul there. Not a lot of contact.
First foul on Coop's, second team foul on the Shockers, the visiting team tonight in their traveling yellow uniforms. Of course, they were in the home white back on Wednesday night. At the line, Eric Brown, a 77% free throw shooter. And he has the first point of the ball game for either team. 6'6", a senior out of Brooklyn, New York, has been the leading scorer for Miami each of the last 3 seasons, and he leads them again this season. And he's got the first 2 points of the game.
And they go with a little token full court pressure, not all out pressure, just a little bit of pressure on the basketball, run some time off the clock and make the guards think about it.
Sasha, the left-handed bounce pass to an open Gafrovich, who nails an early one. A 2-pointer. We're tied at 2. Like to see Gafrovich get an early 2.
You really do. He did a good job of getting himself open that time.
Richardson turning. He's effective from there. He hit a number of those shots against Penn. Shocks push the ball up the floor, and White Prelo for 3, not there. Cooper, nice dish to Steve Greer, who went up strong and drew the foul.
Once again, we see the rebound come opposite where the shot was taken. The shot comes off the left side. Lenny Wirtz really talking to Sasha inside and a couple of the Miami players. You see Greer there going up with the basketball. Did get fouled. He's going to get a chance to shoot a couple of free throws. I was mentioning Cooper, Mark. He did a good job going away from the shot on the board, coming away with a good rebound, made a nice pass to Greer.
First foul on Jake Morton as Steve Greer at the line, and the first free throw not there for Steve, only a 62% free throw shooter. The Shockers, though, rebounded nicely as a team at the free throw line and rebounded as well, but they shot 85% from the line against Washington, although Greer misses a couple there.
Both teams playing a man-to-man defense right now, but you'll see a combination of defenses for Miami before this thing's over.
And you may see a little more zone tonight from the Shockers. Richardson outside. Not there again. They ruled Dwight Prelo stepped to the baseline. And based on Dwight's reaction, I have to believe that he did. So Miami will get it right back with 17:46 left to play in the opening half. 2-2 our score.
Excellent communication by Richardson and Brown. Brown wanted the lob pass when Richardson went up, and he let him know it. He looked right at him.
Warren, the drive, kicked it out to Richardson, back out to Presto. Inside, Eric Brown, the turn to 2. 4 for Eric Brown.
He wants the basketball down low. He wants it any place on the floor.
Sasha, great fake. Richardson, that's the second time already in the game we've seen Richardson really buy the fake from Radunovic.
You see Richardson right there. He's very conscious of the block. Watch this. Here's the ball fake by Sasha. You see Richardson go up, catches him with his right leg right there. Richardson slowed tremendously in the last couple years by a serious knee injury that required surgery last year.
First foul on Richardson. That's 3 now on Miami. Gavrovic, left wing, squeezes it off. Not there. Cooper down low, blocked from behind. Warren came out of there with it. The Canes have it. They lead at 42. They dump the pass inside. Eric Brown mistimed his jump. And now Gavrovic. Pull it back out to Sasha Radunovic, looking for Greer inside. Steve motioning the ball to the left side. Sasha eyes the line, short all the way. Fouled his shot though. And a fresh 45 out to an open Dwight Prelo. Wide open, passed it up.
Yeah, he passed up a real good shot there, especially for Dwight Prelo.
Greer not there. Off Richardson. The Shockers will get it again. And here comes Dwayne Prelo. First sub of the game. There's Dwayne. Radunovic heads over to the Shocker bench. Bill Foster will also take the opportunity to get Joe Wiley in the ball game. Number 15, a 6'9" sophomore from Washington, D.C. Their leading rebounder at 8 a game.
Watch the effect that Dwayne Prelo's presence has in the basketball game. He normally comes in and makes an impact.
Cooper. Oh, it stayed inbound. Shockers miss another layup, though. They battle for it. And Morton came out of there with it. Ball ahead to Presto. Three-point attempt short. Wiley just in the game, turns and gets it. First 2 of the night for Joe Wiley. He averages 9.5 a game.
He takes a lot of pressure off of Eric Brown, number 32, when Wiley's in the basketball game because of quickness and jumping ability.
Miami leads it now by 4. 15:45 to play in the opening half.
Shockers are not yet comfortable out there, Mark. They really are not in sync right now.
Yeah, you can really sense that sitting here courtside. I think you're absolutely right. Dwight Prelo tangled with Morton. And looked like the other official had a 3-second call. Somebody for the Shockers was in the lane. So that will go as a Shocker turnover. It will be Miami ball when we come back. 15:34 to play in the opening half.
With KFDI Pony Express News. KFDI takes you live to the scenes of breaking news 24 hours a day. KFDI is the largest and most respected radio news operation in the state of Kansas. When sirens sound, the ranch hands will take you to the scene right then when it's news, not history. Trust us, when news happens, it happens on KFDI.
We are back to action in West Palm. Shockers applying the defense. Dwight Prelo trying to sell Lenny Wirtz on the call, but unable to. Miami will keep it again. 15-16 left to play in the first half. Miami leads at 6-2 at the timeout. Keith Bonds came into the ball game for the Shockers. And Jake Morton about to inbound here for Miami. Having some trouble, goes into the backcourt to Presto.
Shockers staying at man-to-man defense. They're looking for a trap, and they normally do that coming out of timeouts, especially early in the basketball game.
Warren squared up, missed the three-pointer, and a whistle and a foul down low.
I think it's Grayer. I think he was blocking out inside.
First foul on Steve, and the team fouls are even now at 3 apiece. Warren. Wiley let the pass go by him. Wisely. There's Wiley again. And they've got him traveling before he let the shot go.
That's a good call inside. It definitely was a travel. He did take an extra step right there. Bonds at that point guard position. He looks a little bit more comfortable.
And another whistle down low. A lot of whistles here early in the game.
I think they got Morton for holding Prelo. Dwayne.
Right you are. Second foul already on Jake Morton. A lot of action tonight away from the ball. And Morton will check out of the ball game now with the 2 fouls.
I think the officials sense just how ready both these basketball teams were for this basketball game. Believe me, when you're playing for a championship, it's always a fun game, a big game. Doesn't matter what it's a championship for. They call it a championship. That makes a difference.
Number 22, Lavertus Williams now in the ball game, replacing Morton, 6'2", a senior out of Brandon, Mississippi.
When you add to it, you're playing for a championship against a quality team like Miami, then both teams are really ready, and that's the case here tonight. So ready, I think they've been a little tight.
John Cooper kicked it back out to Keith Bonds. Long off the iron, Wiley. Very athletic in there. Bad outlet pass, though. The Shockers get new life. Oh, look at him get up and block White Trailer. And then it was Wiley stepping on the sideline. So the Shockers will again get it back.
Wiley's all over the place.
Check this action.
Wiley's all over the place. He really is. Look at the offensive rebound here. Defensive rebound, excuse me. Gets the outlet pass. Prelo, Dwight that is, gets the basketball back. Watch this block by Wiley, number 15 for Miami. You talk about going up and getting after it. He not only blocks it, but then gets it back but steps out of bounds.
And back live, Radunovic back in the ball game. Steve Grayer out for the Shockers, who trail at 6-2. Shockers have scored only 2 points, and we played nearly 6 minutes. There's Sasha inside, really battling. That basket is bound to count. Let's check the indication. Yes, it counts, and he was fouled.
We're going to have to call the first shot that he took a real brick that time, Mark, but he did get a tough offensive rebound in traffic and then used his left hand to put it back up off the glass and in. A very good play by Sasha, a tough play.
And the even better news, that's the second foul on Eric Brown, so now he'll have to check out of the ball game. And 23, Dennis Burns is in.
And he slams the towel to the floor, Eric Brown does, when he sits down over there. He'll have to sit, you would think, maybe for the rest of the first half.
So an opportunity here for the Shockers, although Radunovic missed the free throw. The Shockers less than impressive early tonight from the line. Dennis Burns, called by the Miami people their most athletic player. Missed the running left-hander. Former starter, but now Foster brings him off the bench. He shook up the lineup about 4 games ago. Benched 3 guys, started 3 new ones. 3-pointer, Dwight Prelo, his first 3 of the game.
What a tremendous weapon for Wichita State. They've always been able to shoot the 3-pointer pretty well.
And with that bucket, the Shockers take a lead, 7-6. Wiley, about a 16-footer, bounds around, comes off of there. Ball bounced out of bounds. The official asking for help on the call.
Wichita State's ball.
It's going to be Shocker ball. As we get Gafrovich back in the game, there's Eddie Fogler. His 68% winning percentage, already the 4th best ever at Wichita State. Gafrovich Dumps it inside to Sasha. The turn brought the ball down, and that allowed Wiley to cause all kind of trouble. And it's going to be Miami ball. That's one of those situations where Sasha needs to keep the ball up at eye level or even higher.
Yeah, he mishandled it a little bit in here. You'll see him lose control right there. He loses control of the basketball right there, gets it back. And then he's trying, once again, I think he's trying to draw the foul too many times when he has a good shot.
Number 4, Joseph Randon in the ball game for Miami. Number 12 is also in there, Thomas Hocker. So we're seeing a lot of Hurricanes here in the first half. We'll also see Steve Grayer on the next dead ball. Hocker just in the game, pulls up and pops.
You know, that guy, Mark, started 26 games as a freshman last year and led them in assists. He's out of Dallas, Texas. He's a pretty good basketball player.
And he leads them in assists again this season with 47 in 11 games. He's one of those former starters who's now coming off the bench. Gofrovich just back in the game. Popped the two-pointer. 4 for Guff. He's looking to the basket a little more.
Coach Vogler's got that coat off over there.
Not quite as warm in here tonight as it was Wednesday night.
Not yet.
That's right. It's early.
There's a good pass inside. That's a fine pass.
Wiley, though, not there on the fadeaway. Shocks bring it, leading 9-8. 12 minutes to play in the opening half. Gofrovich in
He'll
trouble.
dunk it.
Ball slapped away by Burns. Finger roll instead.
Burns loves to dunk the basketball. Can you believe he had 56 slams last year? That's an unbelievable number.
And that finger roll has Miami back on top 10-9. Oh, great backdoor. John Cooper got it.
Nobody does it better.
First 2 of the night for Cooper.
Sasha's successful with that because he makes the fake on the regular pass. He makes that ball fake and makes the defensive man move. Then he makes the bounce pass. He does a great job of that.
They kick it out to Burns. Hocker open from 3. Penetrates instead. A bucket by Cooper, a rare first half basket for him. His last 5 games, 41 of his 52 points have come in the second half.
Little 1-3-1 zone on the part of Wichita State.
Might see the Shockers zone some more tonight. Eddie Fogler was a little bit unhappy with all the easy baskets that Washington got back on Wednesday night. Washington shot better than 47%, the highest shooting percentage of any Shocker opponent so far this season, as you see the replay again.
We saw that move on the baseline by Randon, Joseph Randon, number 4 out of Rosenberg, Texas.
And right now we'll see a timeout with 10:55 left to play in the opening half. Our score, Wichita State 11, Miami 10. Back in a minute.
At Farm Bureau, our products are designed to help Kansans specifically. One thing that clients want more than anything else is service. And they want an agent that they know, that they can trust, and one that they know is on their side. People want fast and efficient claim service. With 70 claims adjusters, we can provide that.
Hey, Joe, bank ever call?
Yeah, some new guy.
Another new guy?
Yeah.
So did we get the loan or what?
The new guy didn't know. The old guy didn't tell him.
Joe, we gotta get a better bank.
I did.
You did?
I talked to Central Bank last week.
And?
And they're better. They're going to give us the loan.
Oh, all right.
Of course, I didn't tell them I had a little brother.
Oh.
Let Central Bank and Trust help your business grow. Central Bank and Trust, the better bankers.
Mark Allen and Bob Ortigo back with you in West Palm. 10:55 to play in the first half. The Shocks lead it by 1 right now over Miami. Relatively low-scoring ball game, reflected by the shooting percentages.
Well, that's for sure. Wichita's 5 out of 16 for 31%. Miami's 4 out of 12 for 33%. It's been a ragged first 10 minutes here, but when you shoot that poorly, it doesn't matter how well you play, it's going to look bad.
Way outside, not there for Lavertus Williams, and Steve Grayer back in the game has the loose one off the floor. This is a Shocker team coming off its best shooting game of the season, 59% from the field against Washington, but they're barely half that tonight. Gofrovich Back to Sasha, inside, Greer, flashed to the ball nicely, then lost control. The battle is on, jump ball, and on the alternating possession, it's going to be Miami basketball.
There is no light over there on the scorer's table, Mark, as there should be.
What they have is there are the field goal numbers we talked about earlier. What they have is a blue arrow that's drawn by magic markers. So,
and if Casey Scott, who just turned that arrow around, if he drew that, we need to talk to him about drawing arrows after the game. That's got to be the worst.
Hocker just knocked Gofrovich down, but they'll play on. That's one way to get through a double team. Williams passing inside, Randon turning, banking, and getting the two. First two of the night for Joseph Randon out of Rosenberg, Texas, just a freshman, 6'4".
The Shockers were back in the man-to-man again that time, so we'll watch and see if they continue to rotate defenses.
That time Richardson did not buy the fake, fell down. Sasha missed the bank shot. The tip no good. The second tip no good. Greer in the neighborhood, but Miami came out of there with it. Oh, look out there.
That's a fine pass that time by number 12, Hocker, finding the open man underneath.
Brandon Adams just in the game, another freshman out of D.C. His first two of the game. And that's a blocking foul on Hocker. First foul on him.
Hocker had pretty good position with his feet, but when he reached in with his left arm and made contact, it destroyed all the hard work that he had put in trying to get good position.
Interesting move here. Eric Brown is back in the game with 2 fouls, and Aaron Davis is also in for the Shockers, replacing Radunovic. Aaron has been great of late. 20 points in his last 3 games off the bench, including 7 of 9 shooting from the field. But if Eric Brown picks up a 3rd foul,
they're going to try to protect him. They're playing a 2-3 zone right now.
Oh, blocked inside. Richardson swatted it away. Hocker, the underhand dish ahead to Burns. Sweet 2.
We saw some of that athletic ability that Burns possesses we were talking about. They're going to count that basket.
So 4 for Burns. Here it is again as he knifes through the defense.
Great quickness and speed. Really gets up and down the floor well. An excellent jumper. We talked about the 56 dunks he had last year.
And Aaron Davis, just in the game, draws his first foul. That's 6 on the Shockers. Correction, 5 on the Shockers. Miami with 16 fouls. And here's Burns at the line.
Mark, this is a key point in the basketball game right now. Miami's jumped out to a 6-point lead.
5 points now for Dennis Burns. Just inside the 9-minute mark. Dwayne Prelo, boy, the Shockers have missed some close-in shots. Aaron Davis battled hard. Drew the foul as a result.
They really have had some good shots. They've missed a lot of layups, and they've missed some offensive rebound opportunities that just haven't gone down for them. What you have to do is keep battling. You see right here an offensive rebound for Aaron Davis. He tries to drive it back up and gets fouled by the big guy, 45 inside, Mark Richardson for Miami.
Second foul on him. Aaron Davis with that characteristic high arc missed the free throw, and he's been a good free throw shooter this season, 89% coming into the game. You know, talking about Wichita State missing the good percentage shots as Aaron gets the free throw for his first point. A little bit reminiscent, not quite as bad, but of the first half against Southwest Missouri State when the Shockers really missed a number of even ranked layups and, of course, had to rally in the second half to beat the Bears. Ball loose on the floor and a walk on Eric Brown.
The Shockers that time tried to go to some half-court zone pressure. They didn't exactly get into it, didn't get an opportunity to trap out of it, but they were looking to do that.
There's Gofrovich out of the game. Keith Bonds back in as Eddie Fogler is rotating his point guards tonight, trying to keep a fresh one in at all times. Bonds, give it up. 8:25 to play in the first half. Miami leads it 17-12. In a relatively low-scoring game, which I think ultimately will work in favor of the Wichita State Shockers.
Miami came out of the zone defense. They're back man-to-man. They might want to go right at Eric Brown. Right there, Davis and Brown matched up.
And 3 seconds on the Shockers. It was either Greer or Dwayne Prelo. That's Bill Foster. Go ahead.
Coach Vogler over there just loosened the tie. The coat's already off. We mentioned that, but he loosened the tie, and he's frustrated. He's trying to do some things from a coaching standpoint to change the flow for his Shocker basketball team, but it hasn't worked yet.
Now we played 12 minutes. The Shockers have 12 points. Again, a little bit reminiscent of that Southwest Missouri State game. And a foul there on Keith Bonds. His first.
Wichita State fouls charged.
And we will get a timeout on the floor, so we'll take it. With 7:51 left to play in the first half, the score is still Miami 17 and the Shockers 12. Of the Eastern Airlines Palm Beach Classic, 7:51 to play in the half. Miami leads the Shocks 17-12.
Now, Wichita State doing a good job on the boards. They're winning that battle 17-12, but the shooting continues to haunt them. They're only shooting, I think that's 23% now, 5 out of 21.
Right about 24%. Here comes Cooper. Took it right at Eric Brown. The dish to Davis. Stripped of the ball and a foul on Burns.
Now they have to make free throws. They cannot get to the free throw line and not be able to convert them. They had that problem in the ball game at Purdue, but they rectified it the other night against Washington and shot free throws well. Wichita State's the kind of a team, because of their offense and because of the coaching philosophy, that's always going to shoot a lot of free throws. Coach Vogler's designed it that way. That's the school from which he has arrived.
And Aaron Davis now only 1 of 3 tonight from the line. He's a better free throw shooter than that as you look at Dennis Burns, recipient of his first foul of the game.
Eric Brown from Miami, Mark, still in the basketball game with 2 fouls. He's there with a basketball, throws it inbounds right there.
You saw our score here. Miami leading by 4. Passing along a soccer score, the Wings lead San Diego 3-2 in the second period. Eric Brown on the drive, dished it out to Burns. Rises and cans the jumper.
I'll tell you right now, Burns, number 23, he's not going to pass the ball very often. When the ball touches his hands, he's looking to shoot it.
Already 7 points for Burns. He averages 12. He has sparked them off the bench.
Yeah, he's shooting it pretty well right now. Burns off the bench and Wiley off the bench earlier.
Aaron Davis, who has sparked the Shockers of late off the bench with 4 tonight here in the first half. 7 minutes to play. Shocks hanging tough within 4, still within 4 as the jumper by Hawker rattles out. Bounce pass in the corner to John Cooper, dumps it into Radunovic. Strong move, stripped of the ball again. Sasha really struggling with only 2 points. There's Brown in traffic, created room for himself, and he's got 6.
Sasha down low, got to hang on to that basketball and use that strength that he has. People are aware of what he's trying to do inside in terms of drawing fouls.
There he is, trying to just drive past Richardson. Made up his mind, missed it off the glass. Off Brown. And now we have a couple of players down. Aaron Davis grimacing, and Richardson appears to be in slightly worse shape. Aaron is at least now getting to his feet. There you see Aaron Davis, but Richardson is still down as you look at it again.
It's on the other side over there. You see 50 Aaron Davis. There's Davis. He's the one that touched the basketball. He went down hard on top of Mark Richardson. They both appear to be all right, though. They're up, moving around.
Richardson is up now, slowly making his way. There he is to the Miami bench. Subs on both sides. The Shockers right now will go with Gofrovich, Cooper. Cooper will play a guard now because you've got Dwayne Prelo in with Radunovic and Steve Gray.
Dwayne Prelo with a defensive assignment of guarding Eric Brown.
Kevin Presto, the bounce pass, dish to Wiley. Back out. 3-point attempt is there for Jake Morton, his first 3 of the game, the freshman out of Bowie, Maryland. And that suddenly has Miami right back up by 9.
Dwight Prelo right up off that bench right now, very quickly.
That foul on Gofrovich as he ran through the defender. That's 2 on Guff, both the same way.
Same kind of foul. I'll tell you who's causing all the problems out there. It's Presto. Presto really is taking away the path that Grafovich wants to run after he gives up the basketball when he goes down to set a pick. And credit Presto. He's doing a great job.
Dwight Prelo back in, replacing brother Dwayne. And at the line, the highly touted Eric Brown, looking for his 7th point of the game. Had 38 in a ball game earlier this season against Bethune-Cookman. Not a big name opponent, but 38 is 38.
It's still a lot of points. It really doesn't matter who you play.
Eric Brown is now the #3 all-time scorer at Miami. Can you name the #1 all-time scorer?
Hickox or something like that?
A guy by the name of Rick Barry.
Oh.
Had a pretty decent career.
Defensive change for Miami. They've gone to a little half-court pressure. See how the Shockers handle this. Maybe they can get an easy shot out of this. There's the basketball down where you want it.
Sasha kicked it back out, though. Across the defense.
There's a good one.
And the dump to Greer. We had a whistle before the shot. And I think it's going to be on Morton.
You see, they continue to get to the free throw line because they move the ball well. They look for the open man. They're a well-coached team, Wichita State is. Here's Greer down low. You see the foul right there. Cooper had a good shot when he got it. One of the things you do want to be careful of, though, from the standpoint of the way the players are thinking, is that they don't overpass, that they don't pass up good shots.
3rd foul on Jake Morton, but he stays in the game for the time being. 1-1 now. Greer at the line, looking for his 1st points of the game. That one's safely down for the senior out of Macon, Georgia. 13 2 nights ago against the Huskies.
He needs to get on track right now. You certainly want to close this 10-point gap between now and halftime as much as you can.
Couple of free throws for Greer. That's got the Shockers back within 9. Now Wichita State trying to pick up the defense. They need to retreat here. Eric Brown took it strong inside. Missed the shot, but did draw the foul as the Shockers extended the defense a bit, gambled, and then Miami momentarily had the advantage. Here it is.
They came up with a steal. Wichita State had the steal, but Dwight was going out of bounds and tried to bounce it off a Miami player's foot. Miami recovered. Got the ball to Brown coming down the lane. He missed the easy 2-pointer, but he's going to get a chance to still get 2 points if he can make the front end of a 1-1.
First foul on Radunovic. Eric Brown right back at the line. 9 points now for him. Yeah, Rick Barry had a great career at Miami. His senior year, consensus All-American, averaged 37 points a game. Averaged. That was back in the mid-60s when games were really not nearly as high scoring as they are now.
Went on to a great career in the NBA, too.
Oh, Radunovic battling to keep the possession down on the floor, lost it out of bounds. Miami ball, and the Shockers really struggling. 5:09 to play in the half. They're down 11. Eddie Fogler getting Dwayne Prelo back in the ball game. Sasha will check out as Eddie Fogler searches for the combination that will get his Shockers on track offensively here.
He really is searching. There's no question about that. Now they're beginning to panic a little bit. I think the Shockers are. They really have missed a lot of good shots.
I think right now they just need to get it under 10 heading into the halftime locker room.
Scott off the bench. I'll tell you, Miami's got a lot of depth. Bill Foster playing a lot of people, Mark.
And he's another freshman, Jerome Scott, out of Great Falls, Virginia. Just in, and he just scored. Greer faked one way, turned the other, and that is as good as the Shockers have looked tonight offensively. 4 for Greer. That was a good, quick bucket and a good, quick move by Greer.
The only way you get back in now is to really D it up. You really have to play solid, fundamental defense.
Block from behind.
That's a charge on Scott.
It was a block and an offensive foul.
And who do you think was able to draw the charge? I think it's 25, Dwayne Prelo. There he is. You see him, 25. You get a great look at Scott coming into Prelo. Prelo was set before that player went up in the air. The contact was made before the ball was released, so it's not a player control foul. Prelo's going to get a chance at 2 points, and that's real important right now when you're down 11. It's important anytime.
Wayne Prelo at the line, a 65% free throw shooter. Short again, my goodness. Shockers not helping themselves from the line. Need to D it up now. Presto kicked it out to Jerome Scott. Warren dumped it inside to Wiley. Strong move. Too strong. He lowered the shoulder. First foul on Joe Wiley.
Same man, different situation. Dwayne Prelo draws the charge again. You can talk about his offensive stats. You can talk about the intangible qualities he possesses. He is always doing things like that. You saw it right there. Prelo draws that charge again. What a fine player.
Back live now. 4 minutes left to play in the first half. The Shockers down 11. 30-19 our score. Backdoor. That time Presto read it. Down on the floor and he gets it to Scott.
Miami very conscious of back cuts by Wichita State.
Eric Brown in and out. It was halfway down and came out.
Really need to get some easy baskets, the Shockers do. Maybe on the break. Cooper and Gray are a little mixed up.
And it deflected off one or the other, maybe both, and went out of bounds. It'll be Miami ball when we come back. The Canes lead the Shocks by 11. 3:30 to play. Back in a minute. Bob Ordeal back with you at the West Palm Beach Auditorium, where we have 3.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Miami leading the Shockers 30-19. You see the free throw numbers. The Shockers a mere 40%.
You cannot shoot 40% from the line, and certainly you can't shoot 29% from the field and win, and that's what Wichita State is shooting in 7 of 24. They continue to win in the rebounding battle, but you must shoot the ball better. They're in a zone now. They've gone 2-3 zone. Let's see how this works.
Again, this is a Shocker team that had its best shooting night of the season 2 nights ago. Jerome Scott, the freshman, didn't get the bounce. Cooper, the rebound. You know, I don't really have a sense that it's Miami's defense so much as that the Shockers just aren't flowing offensively. There they turn it over again.
Well, they've been pretty ball conscious, Miami has. They're coming up with a lot of loose balls. They're causing a lot of loose balls.
Poor pass there. John Cooper, the loose one off the floor, as it was just up for grabs. Inside the final 3 minutes now. Shockers again looking to cut it to less than 10 as they head for the halftime locker room. Dwight Prelo shorts, and Wiley the rebound. Will name the Pizza Hut player of the game following tonight's action. Warren, quick drive, left baseline jumper. He got it. First 2 for the senior out of Princeton, Indiana.
Warren, really a hustling basketball player. He really gives you his all every second that he's on the floor.
Sasha out on the floor. Wiley on him. Sasha took it inside. Rejected by Eric Brown. My goodness.
I think Sasha thought it might have been goaltending, but I really don't think it was. It looked like the basketball was on the way up. Let's see here.
Ball was barely out of his
Sasha with the move. That's right. That's a good block by Eric Brown that time.
Greer is in for Radunovic, and Keith Bonds comes in for Gavrovich.
Coach Fogler continuing to move people in and out, trying to make something happen at the offensive end of the floor, but he just has not been able to see any results to this point.
2 minutes to play in the first half, and the Shockers have 19 points. Keith Bonds short all the way. Wiley the rebound. The offensive board coverage not too hot that time either. Warren. Oh, good anticipation, Steve Greer. Now it's a foot race. Presto tried to get there, could not. And I'll tell you, Steve Greer, not noted for his ball handling, handled that very well.
Greer did a great job that time. Protected the ball well. Took it the length of the floor.
6 for Steve Greer. Wiley trying to answer at the other end, could not. Dwight Prelo the defensive rebound. Shocker ball. They trail it again by 11. Minute 30 to play.
But they were down 13 just a few seconds ago, and if they can get one here, that's going to look a lot better at halftime.
Cooper hung, blocked, but Greer well placed for the follow. 8 for Steve as the Shocker front line is finally being heard from.
The block once again by Eric Brown. You would think that Coach Foster would get him out of there right now with just a minute to play and 2 fouls on him.
Presto in big trouble. Big trouble.
5-second violation.
Had to be. Either that or almost a travel as Presto was kind of sliding that pivot foot. Eddie Fogler almost a prayerful look there.
I think Eddie made the call before Lenny Wirtz did, and I think he immediately looked at Lenny, who's an excellent official, been around a long time, and said, my fault, Lenny, it's your call, not mine.
All coaches are honorary officials, you know that.
Well, not all coaches. I was never an honorary
Yes, they are. 55 seconds to play in the half. Shockers have it down to 9. We'll try to do better. Greer, who's been hot lately, stripped by Wiley. It's off Steve. Hurricane ball with 47 seconds to play in the half. Christy Deer standing by with our halftime report.
Mark, Miami's done a great job of knocking the basketball out of the hands of the Shocker players here tonight. Really created some problems doing that.
Brandon Presto. Burns, who really gets off the floor on his jumper, has 9 off the bench. The senior out of Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Coach Fogler wants one shot. He wants a lot of motion, a lot of movement. Unless you can get the layup. If you can shoot the layup, you'll usually take that instead of waiting for one shot.
Clock is at 12 right now. The lead is 11 for Miami. So if the Shockers are going to cut it under 10, they need to score in the next 5 seconds. Bonds, top of the key for 3, and he hit it.
Oh, that's a big basket. That is a huge basket going into halftime.
And they put the 3 points up on the scoreboard for the wrong team. I think you've got the right score on the screen.
They sure did.
The score is actually 34-26. Now they've got it corrected. Okay, our halftime score. They tried to give that 3 to Miami. They're leaning over the official score. It is correctly Miami 34, Wichita State 26 as we head for the halftime locker room. Back with our halftime activities in a couple of minutes.
I shopped around before I bought my new Ford, and it's easy to see why Ford is now #1 in America. First in quality, first in sales, and first in owner loyalty. And now get year-end savings over $2,000 at your local Ford dealer.
The Clydesdales, the symbol of Budweiser quality. Of Beechwood aging, the choicest natural ingredients, and a genuine commitment to freshness and taste. One beer lives up to all this. Budweiser.
Bad colds hit hard. For throbbing, aching, feverish colds like this, you need strong medicine. You need Dimetap Plus, the proven cold relief of Dimetap, plus a non-aspirin pain relief.
3 points now correctly placed on the Wichita State side of the scoreboard, and our correct halftime score is 34-26. Miami leading the Shockers by 8. That sounds better than it is because not long ago the Shocks were down 13.
Well, what a huge, huge basket by Bonds off the bench. That three-pointer can do so much for your basketball team going into the locker room. And let me tell you, when you're inside 10 at 8 points down instead of at 13 points down, it's such a psychological factor I could never begin to describe it.
Let's talk, though, more about the rest of the first half. Wichita State really sputtered with 12 minutes gone in the first half. They had only 12 points. This game, to me, bears an uncanny resemblance to the Southwest Missouri State ball game, a game you might recall where the Shockers really had to dig down, as Eddie Fogler likes to say, especially on defense, and they eventually came back and won that one. I think we're looking for maybe more of the same tonight. Let's hope.
Well, they're certainly going to have to do that in the second half because they're playing against a basketball team that it is at home, so to speak, being this close to Miami. They have a good basketball team. They'll have to dig down defensively, though. And at the offensive end of the floor, the Shockers are going to have to convert some of those easy shots that they've had. They've had some shots inside that are not going down, and they must make their free throws. It sounds like we're talking about the same things again, but I think a disappointing first half, not very pretty in the first half.
An interesting gamble by Bill Foster, putting Eric Brown back in the ballgame with the 2 fouls, and Brown survived without fouling again.
I'm not so sure he didn't forget about that fact, letting him play the last minute and 10 seconds of the game of the first half when he had a chance to take him out. I think that was very, very much of a chance on his part, but he obviously knows what he's doing because he did leave him in there.
Wichita State, as we've mentioned, really searching for points for much of the first half, particularly the Shocker front line. Radunovich, Cooper, Dwayne Prelo, very little production, but Steve Grayer finally caught fire down the stretch.
Well, he really did help. Grayer did once he caught on fire. I still think Sasha Radunovich has to get on track. And I go back to what I've said earlier in the first half and what I said the other night. I think his concentration, whether it be conscious or unconscious, is on drawing the foul inside instead of just turning and using his strength and powering the basketball up on the glass.
For whatever reason, Sasha is averaging only about 9 points a game over his last 3 ball games, and he continues to struggle here tonight. We'll take a timeout. Once again, our halftime score, Miami 34 and the Shockers 26. Back with Christy Deer and our halftime report right after this. The championship game of the Eastern Airlines Palm Beach Classic in Miami leads the Wichita State Shockers by a score of 34-26. Of course, the Shockers not the only Wichita athletes in action tonight. Barry Sanders is also playing some football. And with that and all the other sports news of the day and night, let's go to my Cake Sports colleague, Christy Deer.
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. We'll get you up to date on everything. The Wichita Wings are going for their 8th win of the year tonight. The Wings at home taking on San Diego. And in the first period, it was a scoreless game. And Chris Vaccaro will come up here with an excellent save to keep it that way at the scoreless game. Good save by Vaccaro. But later in the first period, it is a long-distance shot by Fernandez who put the Sockers up by a score of 1-0 in the first. But in the second, it was a 2-2 game. Dale Irvine, the great shot, put the Wings on top by a score of 3-2. And on the board, it is a halftime score of Wichita 3, San Diego 2. That is a halftime score. Mike Fox, Mike Stankovich, and Dale Irvine coming up with the goals for the Wichita Wings as they lead at halftime by a score of 3-2. It's the battle of the Cowboys in San Diego this evening. Number 12 Oklahoma State and number 15 Wyoming are playing in the Holiday Bowl. The game at San Diego tonight started about 7 o'clock. Oklahoma State in the first quarter give it to Barry Sanders. You know what he's going to do. He gets in to score to make it a 7-0 advantage, 33 yards. Oklahoma State on top in the first period. But late in the first period, the Wyoming Cowboys, they come back and tie it. It's a quarterback keeper. Randy Welniak makes it a 7-7 game in the first quarter. And on the board, the halftime score is Oklahoma State 17, Wyoming 7. Barry Sanders has 2 touchdowns, one 33 yards, the other one a little short one, about 2 yards, as Oklahoma State is leading at the halfway point, 17-7. The University of Temple football program is hoping to turn things around. Today, Rice head coach Jerry Burnt stepped down at Rice and took over for the Temple Owls. Burnt had been with Rice for 3 years. He leaves that program with the longest losing string at the Division 1A level at 18 games. The NFL football playoffs continue tomorrow. In the NFC, the Chicago Bears host the Philadelphia Eagles. In the AFC, it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals with the home field advantage. They'll take on the Seattle Seahawks.
If we win this one, we move on to the AFC Championship game, and everybody's looking forward to playing.
In favor of Miami, and Bob, as you look at the halftime stats, the Shockers are in many ways fortunate to be within 8.
I would have to agree. Miami shooting 50% from the field, the 32% for Wichita State. Miami is 7 out of 7 from the line. Wichita State 4 out of 10. Wichita State 23 rebounds, Miami 16. But 2 stats that jump at me. Block shots for Miami, they have 5. Wichita State has none. Steals, Miami has 7. Wichita State has 3. With the 5 block shots and the 7 steals, I mean, that 12 just jumps out at me. Turnovers are 12-12 for both teams, and 7 assists for the Shockers, 10 for Miami. But boy, that 3-point basket by Bonds at the end of the first half, that had to be a big boost for the team in yellow.
The leading scorer in the game right now is Dennis Burns with 11 off the bench for Miami. The Shockers are led by Steve Grayer with 8. But some of the other Shocker performances, Radunovich only 1 of 7 from the field. Dwight Prelo only 1 of 5. Dwayne Prelo 0 of 3.
Miami comes out in a 1-3-1 zone. That's a bit of a change, trying to adjust to maybe what they thought Wichita State might have been adjusting to at halftime. I think the Shockers can hurt a zone defense. They shoot the ball outside too well.
But if you're Bill Foster and the other team shooting 32% from the field, I'd make them shoot it from the outside.
Yeah, but they haven't been outside shots, Mark. They missed a lot of inside shots. I really think this is a good move.
Steve Greer continues to be the man inside. He's got 10.
Good job by Greer. He had 8 points in the first half, and he had 7 rebounds.
Kevin Presto, count a three-pointer and a foul down low. It's on Steve Greer, so this could be a somewhat costly trip.
Presto answers that basket +1 that Wichita State had at the other end of the floor.
Presto his first 3 points of the game, and that's the second foul on Greer.
Warren wants the ball on that particular out-of-bounds play. We saw that the other night.
Presto just hit his second three-pointer within, what, about 5 seconds?
That's right.
For his only 6 points of the game.
And jumps that lead right back up to 12, even though the Shockers scored on their initial possession to start the second half.
That's why they call him Kevin Presto. As Cooper missed one inside. Greer, though, is really getting it done.
Steve is playing well. He really is.
Use some help, though. Presto again! 3 three-pointers in the opening 35 seconds.
I don't know what they gave him at halftime, but whatever it was, it's working. My goodness.
Unbelievable. He's 34% on the season from that range, but not so far tonight in the second half.
Illegal block.
Illegal screen on Dwight Prelo. First foul on Dwight.
Coach Fogler's unhappy about that one. I don't blame him. I did not see an illegal screen. I was watching Prelo go down and try to set a down pick. I do not think he moved.
Eddie Fogler shouting at the official to call it both ways.
That's the third time that official's called that particular play.
Of course, Wednesday night, Eddie Fogler contesting an illegal screen call and not very vociferously drew a technical foul. Brown inside. Missed a floating right-hander. Gofrovich hit Greer in the left corner. Steve looking for motion. Big block by Mark Richardson. 6th block of the game for Miami. Presto again from three-point range.
Holy cow.
4 in this half, and Eddie Fogler calls a timeout, something he rarely does. So that shows you just how big an impact Kevin Presto has had with 4 three-pointers in the opening, 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the second half. And the Shocks are suddenly down 16.
Today, buying insurance is confusing. The best thing that I can provide to our members is to eliminate some of that confusion. So when they leave my office, they are satisfied and comfortable. When I sell a policy to our members, what I'm really selling is our claim service. We've got the best claim service in the state. And with over 70 full-time claims adjusters and offices all across the state, when something happens, we're there.
Football fans, get ready for the battle of the century as unbeaten Budweiser takes on undefeated Bud Light. It's Bud versus Bud Light in Bud Bowl 1.
Pick up your official scorecard wherever you see this display.
Hey, Bud, super idea. You see the neck on that guy?
Use it to follow the action and you could win. So get ready, get set. On January 22nd, Bud Bowl 1. This time, it's for real.
Hey, Joe, bank ever call?
Yeah, some new guy.
Another new guy?
Yeah.
So did we get the loan or what?
The new guy didn't know. The old guy didn't tell him.
Joe, we gotta get a better bank.
I did.
You did?
I talked to Central Bank last week.
And?
And they're better. They're going to give us the loan.
All right.
Of course, I didn't tell him I had a little brother.
Oh.
Let Central Bank and Trust help your business grow. Central Bank and Trust, the better bankers.
Miami guard Kevin Presto was only 0 for 2 from the field in the first half But he went into the halftime locker room, and presto, he came out in the second half, and he has hit 4 3-pointers.
All from the right side of the floor, beyond that three-point line, and drained them. I mean, they didn't hit anything.
Nothing but nylon, as they say. Shocker ball. They trail it now by 16 because of Presto's heroics. Sasha inside the underhanded left-hander, and it's off Greer and out of bounds. And I tell you, Kevin Presto has cast a definite pall on the proceedings from a Wichita State point of view.
And he's in the ball game with Hocker at the point now, and that's an unusual combination. Those two have not played a lot. He's going to shoot it again, folks.
What do you know?
He missed. He had to shoot it head on. He wasn't over to the right side of the basket. Maybe that made a difference. Prelos have to get on track offensively, Mark. Both Dwight and Dwayne. Dwayne's at the scorer's table right now. He's coming in.
John Cooper trying to drive inside. Joel Warren stuck a hand in there. Got a piece of the ball. We got a piece of John as well. First foul on Joel Warren.
You saw Presto walking around there. He's really pumped up. That's Warren right there. The senior's been around a while. Shockers need one of those three-pointers right now.
Dwayne Prelo is back in now. Radunovic took his seat.
They're going to look at a zone against the out-of-bounds play. Miami will stay zone for this series.
Presto is really bouncing around out there, isn't he?
Gafrovich can get that down right there.
Out there off the back of the iron. Presto has the loose one off the floor. We played the opening 4 minutes of the second half. Miami leads at 46-30. Eric Brown, a traveling man. The Shocks will bring it the other way.
That's a good call. Brown moved both feet. Took a step with the left and was dragging the right pivot foot. Shockers have had a chance here to cut this lead in the last couple possessions. They're just going to have to get it down. They lose it again.
Right play of Dwayne Prelo glancing back at the official looking for the call. Hocker, a two-pointer. 4 points now for the sophomore out of Dallas. And the beat goes on for the Hurricanes. The Shockers have to feel like they're in the eye of the Hurricane right now. Presto driving, dishing, slapped away. Miami will keep it, leading 48-30.
Good defensive play by Greer. He anticipated when the penetration was made on the right side, dropped down in front of his man, knocked the ball out of bounds. I'm kind of glad to see that man, number 3, Presto, go have a seat.
And a nice hand from the Miami crowd here. Look at Eric Brown inside, finger roll, died on the rim and went down. 12 for him. Interesting how the three-point shot turned this game around in such a short amount of time. First of all, Keith Bonds, the big three at the end of the first half to give the Shockers life, and then Presto took it away so quickly. Greer still trying to get it done inside. Drew the foul.
Richardson, 45 on the foul mark.
Third foul on him as you look at it again.
You see Greer right here. He wheels on that baseline. Richardson goes up, makes contact with the shooting hand. It was the right call. Shockers need a basket badly. Here's another angle. You see it right there. Good look at it. You couldn't see it the first time. You could certainly see it that time.
There you see Richardson now out of the game with those 3 fouls. Keith Bonds is back in for the Shockers. Greer at the line. Now with 13 points.
Let's see if they go with a little full court pressure if Greer gets this one down. Eddie Fogler teams like to do that on made free throw situations. It gives them time to set up. They're going to have to start a rally here.
Hocker snuck in for a rebound. He cut right in front of Cooper. Hocker the dish. Joel Warren threw it out of bounds. I think we'll get a consultation here amongst the 3 officials. Well, it's going to be Miami ball as Greer checks out and Aaron Davis comes in. Hocker to trigger the inbound. The no-look pass to Wiley. Got a bit of a shove from Aaron Davis. 2 fouls on Aaron.
Shockers are going to have to get that big comeback going for him right now. We'll see if Aaron Davis makes this contact. You see him right there with his body up against Wiley, causes Wiley to go to the floor. He did undercut him a little bit, not an intentional undercut. Wiley beat him to the point on the floor. When you're playing defense, you cannot allow that to happen. You must maintain position between the basketball and your man.
On the inbound, Wiley. Great move to break to the basket. Paid the price, but drew the foul.
Well, he got a step coming off of a pick on the out-of-bounds play. Now you see Miami gather together at the free throw line prior to the free throw. We saw them press in situations the other night comparable to this. When they make the free throw, they like to put a little pressure on.
Foul on Dwayne Prelo, his second. Wiley the free throw. His third point of the game. Only a 53% free throw shooter. As we continue to talk about the three-point shots, and Wichita State down 20 now, may begin to think three-pointer. That shot has been featured a little less in the Shocker offense this season, as Wiley now has 4 points. Last year, of course, the Shockers shot 45% from three-point range to rank them 9th in the country. This year, they're down to only 36%. As Gafrovich, Radunovic, and Grayer, 3 Shocker starters, will come back in.
Jake Morton really wanted to foul that time against Dwight Prelo. Felt like Prelo was using his elbows to push off. Somebody's going to have to take that ball out of bounds for Wichita State. There's 5 people in bounds. Sometimes something like that's indicative of where your concentration is.
Prelo top of the key. Radunovic with only 2 points in the game. Steve Grayer.
Miami getting after it defensively pretty well right now. Doing a pretty good job.
Gafrovich top of the key for 3, and he hit it. Maybe that's a start. Maybe. 3 for Guff first on that shot. 7 on the night.
Well, he can shoot it. There's no question about that. They're going to need more of those if they're going to get back in this thing, and they're not back in it right now. Long road back. You can only do it 1 possession at a time.
And Eric Brown answering at the other end. 14 for him.
You see the quickness of Eric Brown when he got the basketball and the explosiveness off the floor. Good skills.
Sasha. Give it up to Grayer. Gafrovich again for 3. Now he's looking like Kevin Presto. 10 for Gafrovich. Foster kind of shot a glance at Presto on the bench, thinking maybe it's time to put him back in.
You hope that maybe you can catch Miami starting to think they have this thing won. That won't work against a good team like Wichita State, I'll promise you.
Poor shot by Morton, barely hit the rim.
A lot of time on the clock.
Dwight Prelo going for the 3, a little bit long up the iron. Rebound Eric Brown. We got a high school teammate by the name of Pearl Washington. Former Syracuse standout, now playing down the coast with the Miami Heat. Hocker, a good 3-point shooter. And Grayer the rebound. 12:35 to play in the ball.
Miami's cooled off a little bit, Mark.
Yes, they have. The Shocks are down 17. Yes, Miami has cooled off, absolutely. And it happened as soon as Presto went out of the game.
There's a good back cut and a great recovery by Morton. He really recovered well opening up to the basketball. Good defensive play. Give credit where credit is due that time. The back cut was made. Morton opened up to the basketball. Really went after it and got a piece of it. Knocked it out of bounds, but I think he saved a 2-pointer.
Subs on both sides. Mendelson is in for the Shockers. Cooper back in. Bonds is in. Presto's back in for Miami, along with Randon, who's playing the defense right now, on Phil Mendelson, who gets it out to Steve Grayer. 23, Dennis Burns also in there for the Hurricanes. Keith thought about the 3.
They had a pretty good shot. He's got one there.
An even better one there. Squared up, pulled the trigger, not big. And Burns a rebound. Look out! right as Kevin Presto nearly joins our broadcast team.
He really did.
It's about the only thing he hasn't done tonight. Timeout on the floor. 11:56 left to play the ball game. Miami leads it 54-37. Back in a minute.
Buck, it's the aftermath of Christmas sale. The math is really plain old arithmetic and common sense. Just watch.
It's inventory time at Kellogg Buck, and whatever's left means loads of miserable paperwork, plus loads of even more miserable property taxes, unless
you take advantage of this opportunity.
Top quality name brand furniture for every room in your home is at inventory clearance prices.
We don't want to count furniture. At Kellogg Buck, it's you, the customer, that counts. Come on in and count your savings.
Years ago, the quickest way to get the news was by Pony Express. That still holds true today with KFDI Pony Express News. KFDI takes you live to the scenes of breaking news 24 hours a day. KFDI is the largest and most respected radio news operation.
January 5th against Iona, and then Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, the Valley opener against Bradley. Shockers have won 17 straight at Levitt Arena. The record is 22. They're 34-2 at home under Eddie Fogler, so get your tickets. Get out and see the Shocks. Bob?
Shooting percentages not any different than they were in the first half. Wichita 36% this half. Miami 63. Hard to catch up when you can't get the ball in the hole. It's still the most important statistic in the game.
Cooper open from three-point range. Hit one, and John Cooper is only 20% this season. Started off okay, but cooled off lately from three-point range, but that was a nice three-pointer. 5 now for Cooper.
I'll tell you, that 14 points looks a lot better than that 20 points looked on that scoreboard in terms of being down.
The foul looks like it's going to be on Phil Mendelssohn. It would be his first, as he was battling down low with a very active Joe Wiley.
If the Shockers can put the basketball inside and then put it back outside for that three-pointer, they've got some people that can shoot the three-pointer. We know that for sure.
Team foul number 5 on the Shockers. Miami with only 2. Down low, Randon took it right at Greer and hit the bank shot.
But you have to shut them down defensively. You can't score and then allow them to go down to the other end of the floor and score.
Randon only 6'4", but has extremely long arms. He measures almost 7 feet from fingertip to fingertip when he stretches out his arms. And again, he's only 6'4". Cooper eyed the three, took it inside, kicked it out to Phil Mendelssohn. Gofrovich, they clear the left side somewhat for him. He'll back it out. Greer.
That's a good move inside.
Stripped to the ball. Was a good move.
It's happened so many times here tonight. Miami has been able to take the basketball away from the Shockers underneath the basket.
That time it was Jake Morton. Here it is.
Greer with the ball, puts it on the floor, going up. There's Morton. That looked like he had contact on his arm that time. That's called a lot, but not as many times tonight as normal.
Miami.
There's a shot for Cooper.
Zoning on the inbound. And air ball. Although it's off Morton, so the Shockers will again inbound off the baseline.
Cooper needed a little bit of a ball fake right there, Mark. You need to make a little ball fake, let that defensive man fly at him, move over and shoot the easy shot.
Mendelssohn turning in and out, and Morton the rebound. That time he hung on.
Coach Vogler's dying over there on the sideline. I can feel for him. You know what he's going through.
Ooh, Joe Wiley.
Wiley says, I'll take this offensive rebound and the jam. Thank you, man. He does it.
And the Canes again lead it by 18.
Really went to the offensive boards with authority that time.
Yeah, I should say he's their leading rebounder too. Another one of those whistles away from the ball. Morton reacting to his 4th personal foul, and he's going out. He knows it. Radunovic about to come back in for the Shockers.
Greer getting a well-deserved rest. Still 10 minutes left in this ball game, and there is time. I'm sure that someone is saying he sounds like the eternal optimist. The point is, with the shot clock nowadays and the three-point shot, you can make up a deficit like this in a period of 6 or 7 minutes.
Real key now here for the Shockers. Can they get it done offensively with Greer on the bench?
Yeah, and then the key is defensively. You have to stop it.
Mendelson telegraphed that pass, coughed it up. Burns went with the left hand. Might have been better advised to use the right hand, as the left-hander went way too hard off the glass. Mendelson turning, blocked on the shot. Richardson blocked him.
Mendelson's having a tough time in there right now. He looks like a rookie. He looks like a freshman right now.
Trying to hang in there, though. Presto, the man of the hour.
He was the man of about the first minute and a half of the second half, I'll tell you that.
That may be all it's going to take. Well, that remains to be seen. Richardson turning and getting first two of the night for the senior from Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Great pass by Burns. He's having fun out there right now. Burns is number 23.
Cooper turning, got the roll. 7 for John Cooper. Look out here, Burns, the guy you just talked about, on the run. The shot bounced out, but he drew the foul.
Dwayne Prelo, you see him sitting there trying to draw that charge again like he does so very well. Here he is. Let's see if he's set. Pretty close to being a charge. Looked to me like he might have been set.
Nevertheless, third foul on Dwayne Prelo, and that's now team foul number 6 on Wichita State. So Miami essentially now in the bonus from here on out with 8:53 to play. Burns at the line. And Miami leading by 18. 2 shots for Burns.
They shoot 70% as a team from the free throw line. It'll be awfully important to them right now if they can make free throws down the stretch, because Wichita State's going to have to foul. Certainly not intentionally right now, and no silly fouls right now, but they have to start gambling just a little bit, going for the basketball.
Burns and Bill Foster originally made contact when Foster was still at Clemson. And when he took the job here, Burns followed him down here. The lead is again 20 for the Canes with 8:45 to play. John Cooper popped open from 15, short all the way, followed his shot, took it up strong, and drew the foul. I'll tell you, John Cooper follows his shot very, very well.
He got away with a travel right there after he got the offensive rebound. It looked to me like he was sliding both feet, but it was not called. I think because he did it quickly. You're right with following the shot. He does go after the basketball when he shoots it.
4th foul on Richardson. And Cooper is 71% free throw shooter. Rolls in his 8th point of the night.
I keep looking at that scoreboard, Mark. I keep wanting to change that lead to like 8 or 10. Can't seem to get that done.
No, the clock keeps running. 8.5 minutes to play. Shockers now extending the defense. Presto for 3. Missed another one. Maybe there's hope.
Well, he's back to reality.
Sasha for 3. Too long. Burns a rebound. The pace has quickened. They dish Presto back to Burns. 12-footer shorts. Aaron Davis just kind of reaching in there. Got just enough. 3 on Aaron.
Davis wasn't sure he committed that foul, but he's not going to be able to change it. The whistle had blown, and Burns is going to go to the free throw line.
There it is, Shocker fans.
It's not a pretty sight. Burns and Wiley off the bench, I think, have performed extremely well for the University of Miami, and the 12 points that Presto had on 4 3-pointers early in the second half. There's the difference. Shooting percentage. He takes 4 and makes all 4 of them.
See Dennis Burns and his production so far tonight. He averages 12 a game, so he has exceeded that. Missed the second free throw, though. Slapped away by Presto. It will be Shocker ball back in the game. Number 22, Lavertus Williams, the 6'2 senior out of Brandon, Mississippi.
Be interesting, Mark, to go back and look at the tape of this particular game and chart the number of times that Wichita State lost the basketball when it was knocked out of their hands. When they had possession and they lost it on a deflection.
Mike Prelo for 3, and he hit it. 6 points for Dwight on a couple of threes.
Yeah, he's been as quiet tonight as I think we've seen him in a 3 or 4 year period. Both he and Dwayne have at the offensive end of the floor.
Hocker the drive across the top. Laverdis Williams just back in the game. Missed it off the back of the iron. Burns, though, active and keeps it alive for Miami.
Active's the right word, too. He's all over the place. Not only active, but productive.
And likewise, Thomas Hocker. He has 6.
An awful lot of people can be active, but that's not the key. You need to be active and productive at the same time.
Sasha inside, drew the defense, kicked it out to Dwight. Not there. Aaron Davis blocked, fouled as well by Dennis Burns. 2 fouls on him. That'll be team foul number 5 on Miami. So the Shockers nearing the bonus.
You know, when you stop to think about the fact that the constant for the Shocker basketball team has been their defense, the field goal percentage that they've been able to hold their opponents to throughout the season. Miami has destroyed that statistic tonight. Miami's probably shooting somewhere in the area of 60% for the game.
And Aaron Davis missing the free throw. You're right, this is a Shocker team that came into the ball game holding its opponents to an average of only 43% field goal shooting. Washington shot 47%, which was the best of any Shocker opponent to date. Looks like that's going to change as Richardson got the follow. 4 for him, and the lead is right back up to 20 with 6:55 to play.
Richardson has not been a big factor, but he is a big body inside. Takes up a lot of space.
He's filling some big shoes. Tito Horford, of course, the Miami starting center last year, declared himself eligible for the NBA draft with 2 years of eligibility left to go. The much-traveled Tito Horford. Davis the drive.
That's a good move on the baseline that Davis made right there. He not only showed some quickness when he started the move, but he finished it right there and did score the basket. He exploded on the baseline.
And Eric Brown finally commits his 3rd foul, but he went a long time before committing that 3rd foul. We'll take a timeout. And the Shockers will try to find the secret here with 6:31 to play. They trail it by 20.
Want a slice of pizza?
Yeah, me too. Nothing's better than a fresh, hot Pizza Hut pizza, and nothing's worse than not having enough. With loads of your favorite toppings and 2 layers of cheese, one's never enough.
Ready for the second pizza?
Pizza Hut, making it great.
Plus $1,000 cash back. At Budget Rental Car Sales, the cars are better than new because Budget's cars have a few well-serviced miles to allow the new car bugs to be worked out. And Budget's cars are thousands less dollars to buy. Buy now and get $1,000 cash back in addition to Budget's better than new prices. Budget will take trades and offers bank financing. Budget Rental Car Sales, where you'll find your car that's and get $1,000 cash back.
Let's go back to something we talked about at halftime. We mentioned the similarity to the Southwest Missouri State ball game as the Shockers struggled offensively in the first half in both ball games. We talked about the importance of Wichita State needing to dig down defensively here in the second half, but presto, with those 4 quick 3-pointers, just blew that strategy right out of the water.
Well, the Shockers had a good start. You know, they had that possession, and they scored on the initial possession of the second half, and you would think that combined with the way they ended the first half was really going to help them, but presto, as you mentioned. Boy, when you hit 4 3-pointers like that.
White Prelo, the drive, pulled up from 8, shot only went 7.5. Grayer took a tumble.
Yeah, that's right. Once again, you see Dwight Prelo. He makes the good move, but he really kind of was, you know, he didn't let that shot flow. Here you see it right here. Didn't really extend and go right on through. He had good defensive pressure there, though, from Richardson. Let's give Richardson some credit. Richardson, a big guy. He moved on out against Dwight Prelo and made that a little bit tougher shot than it looked.
Richardson fouling out with 6:19 to play. He's gone with 4 points. Wiley's back in to replace him.
Mark, this stat is for the game, not just the second half, but Wichita shooting 31%, Miami 54.
14 now for Greer. So it looks like the Hurricanes will become the first Shocker opponent this season to shoot better than 50% from the field.
And the Miami basketball team has also set a season high in blocked shots with 6. It was 5.
Yeah, nice timing. Wiley, nice timing on that rebound. 6:15 to play.
Wiley gets up, Eric Brown gets up, and Jones gets up. Or Burns, excuse me. Those 3 people can really leap.
Here's Wiley. Dumped it inside to John Cooper.
Good defensive position. Cooper was where he belonged.
Obviously. Inside 6 minutes to play now. Keith Bonds let that pass go through, and Cooper did well to keep the possession. Dwight Prelo for 3. That time, good extension as he squeezes the trigger. 9 for Dwight on 3 3-pointers. Shockers now again.
They're going after
the defense, scrambling. Yeah, really starting to scramble with 5.5 minutes to play.
They're looking for trap situations. They'll trap and rotate that defense as much as they can.
Burns, boy, has he been something off the bench. 16.
The guy is having fun. He really is. And he's a fun player to watch. I just wish he wasn't having this much fun tonight.
Yeah, he's wearing the wrong color uniform. That's the problem. Off the foot of Hocker. So the Shocks will keep it. Dwayne Prelo back in the game. Radunovic checks out. Sasha, well, he's slumping. There's no other way to say it. Really over his last 4 ball games now.
I'd have to agree. I'm sure he'd agree too. Here comes the dunk. Watch this one.
Double pump.
Big time. You knew that was coming the minute he got the basketball.
16 for Eric Brown. The lead back to 20 with 4:45 to go.
Here it is
Stolen
again.
away again. Lavertus Williams. He'll go and get a layup. Oh, Wiley.
What a great follow. That's a tremendous follow. Great athletic skills. Give him credit, first of all, for not assuming the shot was going to be made. He went after it. That's the second time tonight he's done that.
8 for Wiley. Oh, I'd like to jump like that just once, just to see what it feels like. Holy cow.
You'd like to jump like that just once? Only off of a trampoline, Mark.
Oh, man.
Only off of a trampoline for you.
Gafrovich back in the game for the Shockers.
You know, we said in the open, in talking about a big win that Miami had the other night, that they have some good athletes. Here's an example of it. That's a great steal. The length of the floor for Williams. He misses the easy 2-pointer. Here comes Wiley. Watch this. The ball is off the rim, grabs it with his right hand, jams it through with both hands. Just a great play.
Dwight Prelo missing the free throw. Hocker dribbling right through the defense, hoping to draw a foul. Did exactly that. Second on Dwight Prelo.
This is where you want your basketball team not to let the thing get any farther out of hand than it already is. You don't want them to get, you know, to a point where they're just destroyed mentally. And Coach Fogler will try to protect that, I'm sure, as much as he can.
Miami pulling everyone off the free throw line, and we still have 4:14 to play. Hocker now with 7.
Bill Foster's up telling his team, keep your hands up, play good position, don't foul. Don't stop the clock, don't put them at the free throw line. Let them close the gap without running time off the clock. They're looking for the steal now. I'll tell you, Miami is really ball conscious.
John Cooper again following his shot. Dwayne Prelo hacked. Will go to the line.
I think the foul's on 23 Burns, but I don't think he agrees with it.
Third foul, you be the judge.
Here's Prelo with a basketball. He's back up.
Ooh, he's right.
He might be right. Miami really going after it right now in terms of the steal. And blocking shots, etc. Trying to put on a little bit of showtime here.
That's only the first point of the game for Dwayne Prelo. Unfortunate.
And doesn't that tell you something?
It really does. It really drives home how important the Prelos are to this ball club. Shockers really missed them tonight. 3:53 to play. Our score in Miami 75, Wichita State 53. Back in a minute.
Two top performers are working together for you. Michelin Tires and the Garrison Tire Company. The professionals at Garrison Tire are tire experts. We'll help you select the right Michelin tire for long-lasting, fuel-efficient performance on your car. Then we'll mount, balance, align, whatever it takes to keep you going strong with the most up-to-date equipment available. Get the combined strength of two top performers. The quality of Michelin delivered by Garrison Tire in Wichita and Newton. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Summertime and the living is easy. It can be even more so with a new patio deck or porch addition to your home from Southwestern Remodeling. Southwestern's reputation for quality construction using only the finest materials has earned them the respect and gratitude of hundreds of homeowners for over 17 years. If you're contemplating adding a new patio deck or porch or even patio doors to your home, contact Jim Hodges, Southwestern Remodeling, for the best.
Much more Shocker basketball coming up for you this season on Cake. Monday, January 9th, a big ball game at Carbondale. The Salukis look very good this year. And then the trip continues in Des Moines Thursday, January 12th against the Drake Bulldogs as the Shockers head into Valley play. You'll see them both.
Hey, Mark, you want to take any bets on the temperature in the next two cities, Carbondale and Des Moines, versus the temperature here today? No bets, huh?
No, no. The weather here today, I'm afraid, is going to be the only good news of the day. It was about 80 again.
You got that right.
Oh, hum. 3:35 to play. Frovich out on Presto. Hocker from 15, in and out. The tip for Burns. 18, Dennis Burns.
Great control on the tip. Great explosiveness on the vertical jump. A warm day in Palm Beach, but I'll tell you what, a cold night for the Shockers.
Gavrovich from three-point land, spun out. Mendelson, the easy follow, first two of the night for the freshman out of Grand Junction, Colorado.
Good position by Mendelson inside, the right place at the right time, and he kept the ball up and put it back up and in. He looked good doing it.
Presto with Bonds right in his face. Gave it up to Hocker. Shot clock at 20 for Miami as they spread things out a bit.
Shockers come into the game averaging 84 points a game with 2.5 minutes left. They have 55 on the clock.
Shot clock at 2 as Presto let it go. And a fresh 45.
And they get it back. Presto a bit out of his range that time, well beyond an NBA three-pointer.
You sure he's out of his range? Now a problem with the 45-second clock, which froze at 43 seconds and then stopped moving.
Tell you what, Coach Vogler would he'd like to see the game clock freeze right now for about 20 minutes.
Well, they've got it down to 33 now, and as Miami inbounds, it is running. And we have exactly 2 minutes to play. Shockers down 22.
Miami content to simply run time off the clock. They're not worried about any more points.
Burns was looking for Wiley, though.
Mark, this is a really impressive victory for Miami. Wichita State 10 out of 21, 48% from the free throw line. Miami 14 out of 15 for 93%. When you compound that kind of free throw shooting with the field goal percentage that Shockers have had, my goodness, really a bad night for them.
Oh, Cooper nearly had the steal. Hocker in the air, hit Burns, open. Wasn't really looking at the basket. Gafrovich, the long outlet pass. Cooper to Aaron Davis.
How about a great pass by Gafrovich down the floor to Cooper, an even better pass to a streaking Aaron Davis. It's a good-looking fast break. I think that's the first fast break basket the Shockers have had tonight. First easy basket they've had on a break opportunity. And they've been working on a fast break. They were going to run more.
Joe Wiley snuck behind Phil Mendelssohn.
Mendelssohn, a real good example of turning your head and looking at the basketball and losing your man completely. You cannot do that. You must know where both are. If you're going to lose anything, lose the ball, but don't lose your man.
Wiley now with 10. I'll tell you, Foster has had great play off the bench tonight. Great production. Aaron Davis. 8 now for the sophomore out of Willingboro, New Jersey. 40 seconds to play. And it appears the Hurricanes will be content to just spread it out or let the old clock tick down. The 45-second clock is off now. Game clock at 23. And 15 seconds now left in the game. And that is that.
Really kind of wraps it all up, doesn't it? Really tells you what this game's been all about. A great pass from Presto, an excellent baseline slide, and Wiley gets the big one.
Well, it's over, and the Miami Hurricanes celebrate a big victory for them in only their 4th year back. They nail the Shockers in the championship game of the Eastern Airlines Palm Beach Classic. Our final, Miami 81, Wichita State 59. The Shockers go to 6-2. Miami wins its 4th in a row. They're now 8-4. We'll take a timeout. Back to wrap this one up in 1 minute.